In today's video, I'm going to share with you how you can go from basic images like this to stunning thumbnails like this so that you can get views like this. What I'm going to share with you today is what I call the 3C formula. The 3C formula is a simple but powerful thumbnail formula I developed from creating thousands of thumbnails over the years. So understand that color grabs attention instantly. So think bold, contrasting colors because this helps your thumbnail to stand out in a crowded feed. Second, clarity. Clarity ensures your viewer understands the message at a glance. And this essentially means clean fonts, minimal text, and simple layouts. And finally, add some character. Character adds the human element. Character adds the human element. So what we're talking about here is a face or expressive image that creates emotion and connection. And once you have all of these three elements, what you will see is that you get thumbnails that not only look good, but they actually make people want to click. Now, let's go ahead and dive deeper into today's lesson, and I'll show you exactly how to create something like this just for yourself. And you only need two tools. The first tool that you'll need is going to be Microsoft's Copilot or some other image generator. You could alternatively use something like ChatGPT or Google's Gemini or even vidIQ. But for this lesson, I'm going to be using Microsoft's Copilot to generate a simple image. And all I did was I typed in a very simple prompt. Create a landscape scene of the following: oil drops and water drops side by side, but not mixing. And this is the image that the AI image generator created. So from here, we're going to go ahead and jump into Canva and turn this into a stunning YouTube thumbnail using the 3C formula. Let's go ahead and dive in.
He's just hungry for knowledge, that's all. Yeah, that brother's starving.
All right, and now we are in Canva. So this is the image. This is for a video that was already released. So what I'm going to do is we're going to reverse engineer how I got to this. So the original image, I'm going to duplicate this here and unlock this so we can really take a look at the different layers. So know that a thumbnail is made up of different elements. And if I hover my cursor over these, you'll see that they're different elements. So we can see the text element, and we can see that these are images. And we can also see that there's a logo, and then we can see the background image that we got from Microsoft's Copilot, and that was our image generator. And then we're using Canva for the graphic design. So if I right click here and go to layer and show layers, or you could press Alt-1, that's the keyboard shortcut. But if we take a look at the layers, and let me put the background in front, you can see where this is the original background image that we started off with. And it's simply that, it's a background image. So we can see where, without the background, this is a very plain looking thumbnail. Without the background, right, it's going to be a very plain looking thumbnail. So we understand with the 3C method that the first three is color. And you can easily get something very colorful by using an image generator such as Microsoft Copilot, which is where we got this from. All right. So first up, generate some kind of fancy background with your preferred image generator, right? So that's the first element. I'm going to put this back together in just a second, but Canva is a very lovely tool because it allows us to easily drag and drop and move stuff around. So the first element is color. So again, use bold colors. Use a bold, colorful background. So let's say you didn't have an image. You actually could go back here and change the background to maybe a gradient. A gradient could work. This is way more colorful than the plain white background, right? You could use some kind of gradient to again make your background pop, even if you're not using a background image, right? But adhere to the 3 C's again, because that is the formula that works, right? After creating thousands of thumbnails, and I'll show you some of them right now. After creating thousands of thumbnails, this is what is repeated. Number one, get color. Number two, let's talk about text. So the text here that is being used is called Anton. And in the digital marketing course, and I'll link this below, when you check out the course, I'll give you the 5 best fonts that you can use, and you can check out the other fonts that are there, but there are certain popular fonts that work, and Anton is one of them. And what I've done here is I use color again to my benefit, right? So in this video, this was essentially a video pretty much talking about the fact that you are not like everybody, because oil and water doesn't mix. You need to find your crowd, you need to find your circle. So, and with that said, you can use color to make your text make sense. So this could be all white. You could leave your font in that, plain default state. This could work, right? But again, you can use color to your benefit. So, red symbolizes danger. For example, you can change that font to red. Green says go. And symbolically, you can use different colors and tinker around with this as best as possible. And when this was all done, this was the color scheme that I originally came up with. So use color again to your benefit. And the second C again is clarity. Be clear with what you are saying in the text. And keep it to roughly 2 to 5 words. But again, make the text make sense because this is a header. Don't make it overly complicated. And essentially, less is more when it comes to your text. All right. Next up, we have character. And the character could be what you have in a background image, or the character is actually you. People want to connect with you. So what you can do is, if you don't have a personal image of yourself, you could use something like a memoji, cartoon version of you, and that is what I have here. This is my Apple memoji that I simply added to the image. And then I also have an image of myself here. So personalize your image. That is what character is. And that is the third C. And from there, I essentially just added in a logo that I have for this channel. And that was the YouTube thumbnail. And that is how you implement the 3 C's. Because all this really is positioning, right? You're going to get your background image. Once you have your background, once that is aligned, all graphic design really is you're putting things in different layers, all right? And aligning things however they make sense visually to you, and resizing different things. And this is again the benefit of Canva as such a lovely software where it allows you to easily align and easily drag and drop different graphics, even if you are not a professional graphic designer. If you are a beginner graphic designer, Canva again is a fabulous tool that you can use to actually increase your graphic design skills, or create posters, thumbnails, or any other graphic design needs that you very well may have. And that's the 3C formula: color, clarity, and character. Those are the 3 main ingredients that your graphics need, that your YouTube thumbnail needs, so that your thumbnails stand out and people actually click. So if you want to learn more about the 3C formula, go ahead and check out my digital marketing course linked down below. And if you need help creating your thumbnails, managing your social media, editing your videos, and so on, go ahead and check out some of the solutions that I have available on my website. All of the links for that are down below. All right, good people. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time in the next lesson.